Welcome to MCs and MVPs. Today we're doing a questionnaire that Aramis has.
Yep. All right. This is the rapid fire section of the question.
The rapid fire section's first?
Yep, you damn right. It's gonna be rapid fire. Rapid fire.
All right.
We're not your typical podcast. We don't do rapid fire in the end of the doggone podcast. We're gonna do it whenever we feel like it. Well, at least
To be fair, I don't think we've ever done it, so.
Well, this is a group of 5 questions for you guys, you know. All right. So, how do you feel about the trend of anime series and movies being adapted into video games?
I mean, I'm fine with video games. I wish that they would do more with the video games sometimes. Like some of the Dragon Ball Z games were very one-dimensional, stuff like that. But in the Naruto games are almost the exact same. I wish you could be able to like create a character and just go through the journey. But they don't really have games like that because it's a lot of development stuff.
I mean, that's also like dependent on whether or not you want to make a story about the show or make a story within the world. Because if you're making your own character, you're not going through Naruto's story. You're going through, and if you're going through those events and it's just Naruto's story, I don't really care to play through that story. Like, that's what the Dragon Ball Z games were. And at that time when they first started, cool, I'm down with it. I didn't really care to do that with anything else, but like Sword Art Online made a game that it had elements from Sword Art Online, and you were playing with the fairy wings and all the other stuff. Like, it had the moves and whatnot, but it was a story outside of the actual anime, but in the anime world. So that was very good. So I'm not pro and I'm not against it either. So I'm very leveled out for it to me.
Okay. Next question. What do you think are some of the most impactful anime sound effects, and how do they enhance the viewing experience? There you go.
Well, like one of the most iconic ones is in Dragon Ball Z whenever like they're trying to show how the perception of speed, and it's just showing them like disappear and then reappear, and the clashing of them hitting and stuff, and the sound wave in the background and all that stuff. That's one of the most iconic ones. Or someone taking their sword out in anime, you know, that shing as they pull out their sword and stuff. That's a very iconic anime sound. Swords hitting, another very iconic anime sound.
I think the one that like hits me the most is probably when you start to see the rocks around someone start to shake.
Oh yeah.
So that's like whether it's when you feel the world around you start to shake and other people are like commenting on it, and it's like, wait, no, the ground started to move, the rock started to move. You feel the aura of them start to expand. Those are those moments for me. I feel like one of the most annoying and worst ones is when everything becomes squares. Like,
that's so weird.
Like, everyone starts getting their ass kicked, and all of a sudden the rocks are squares. Like, I don't know why that's a thing. I don't know who started it, and I don't know why it's still a thing. But
how do you feel about the representation of gender and sexuality in anime, and what improvements would you like to see?
I mean, I'm indifferent because like such a small population is, you know, the LGBTQ. So, and there's a lot of female representation in anime. I think that sometimes they over embellish the females in anime, you know, drawing them with like oversized tits or a huge ass and stuff like that. I feel like sometimes it's extremely unnecessary because it doesn't drive the anime at all, you know. But there's a lot of like female-based animes. There's a lot of male-based animes. There's a lot of you know, like gay characters. There's a lot of trans characters and stuff like that. So I feel like there's a large variety of characters that everyone can, you know, like personalize with.
For me, I don't think in a world where everyone's looking for their representation and things, I always kind of came into anime going like, no, this is a Japanese or Asian art form. So I've never been like, although it was like, no, cool, that person might be black, that person might be black or whatever. That person's tan. Are they actually black or what are you? That's fine, but at the same time, I've never been pushing for it to be like, let's get more black characters or more represented characters. And as far as like their sexuality, you can people. I don't think anyone cares because people will ship you with who they fucking want. I was like,
Right.
like they do not care. It was like, Deku is like has been shown to have a love interest with Jess Ochako, and there are fans who will be like, nah, he's best to get with Bakugo. He's best to get with Todoroki. And it's just like, why? What makes you think that? It's like, so people are gonna ship who they want. So like the whole sexuality representation, a lot of the characters you don't know because they're side characters. They don't have any type of love interest happening. So if the creator came out in 3 weeks and was like, hey, so the Shippo from Inuyasha, you remember that little boy, the little fox
Little
boy?
Fox Boy, yeah.
He had came out later on and been like, you know, he was gay, and it was like,
Cool.
no, he didn't flirt with anyone at all in the show. He was also a child in the show, but at the same time, I was like, all right, cool. Who cares?
Right.
What do you think are some of the most memorable fight scenes, and why do they stand out to you?
I mean, Goku versus Frieza,
Yeah.
Goku versus Vegeta. They stand out because they were so iconic. Like especially Goku versus Vegeta. Goku lost that fight. Like hardcore, he lost that fight. That's why that one's really iconic. And then Goku versus Frieza, the planet was supposed to blow up in 5 minutes, and it took fucking 20 episodes. So everyone remembers that. And then when Hiei first unleashed the Black Dragon, the Darkness Flame Dragon,
Dude, that
is such an iconic moment because he vaporized that dude. There was nothing left. Like he was gone.
Black Stain.
Which I think him unleashing it the first time was like intensified by Kurama being like, he didn't want to do that. He did not want to have to do that round one.
He didn't have a choice. Yeah.
But even better was when the dragon ate him and he came back. Like that hit me way harder than when he unleashed the dragon, because he straight up says, he's like, no, I don't have control over it. I just point it and it happens to hit what's in front of me. But when that dude threw that dragon back at him, and I was like, my favorite character might be dying now. Well,
Right. Yeah.
and then he did die and then came back, and they were like, how the fuck are you here? And he's like, I ate it. I was like, what are you talking about? I ate the dragon.
And then you see the tattoo on his arm.
Like, you got to explain more, buddy. You can't just say you ate a dragon and think we're cool with it. But Yusuke's fight with Toguro is more iconic in that show to me.
Yeah.
Because the giant phoenix leaving his body and then coming back, him fighting him with the cuffs on, and then him having to kill Kuwabara for him to unlock his full potential. I think that's a much more iconic fight than Hiei, even from Hiei consuming the dragon. Now, the dragon's my more favorite part because my favorite character is involved, but the Yusuke fight is more iconic there.
Oh, also very iconic. Vegeta sacrificing himself against Majin Buu. Like that is arguably one of the most iconic scenes in anime.
It's iconic for the wrong reasons. I think most people will talk about that scene and go, it was a waste. Like, it didn't work. Like, so it was so.
But if you think about Vegeta as a character,
I don't give a shit. Like, I don't like, it was wasted. They had him do a huge sacrifice, and it meant nothing. So it was like, whether you go, oh well, it was character growth. Who the fuck cares? It meant nothing. Like,
So if y'all don't mind me chiming in, one of the memorable fight scenes for me, and I dislike this show because of the fans, but when they was at
I thought he said feds for a second.
you said what?
I thought you said feds, like federal.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just
The
like the
federal
show.
government.
It's when it's at One Piece when they was at the when they was rescuing Robin, and then
Oh,
he
in his
told-
lobby.
yeah, in
Yeah,
his
Luffy
lobby.
versus Rob Lucci.
Well, no, when he told homeboy not King,
Shoot the flag.
yeah, to shoot the flag moment, boy. You talking about you
Yeah.
talking about a fight scene to get me ready to fight? I'm talking about, boy. I was like, yeah, I could fuck some shit up. That's what I'm talking about. I was like, I was ready, and then that fight scene was very, very good. Very,
Fight scene, great. The shoot the flag is tainted for me
oh,
because I know how stupid Luffy is. He doesn't know what that meant.
oh Lord,
Literally,
boo,
the only reason he told him to do it is because that guy is up there talking. He's like, "Do you know what this flag is? It's the world government." And then he goes, "Shoot that flag." It's a childish response. Like it doesn't.
No, it's not.
symbolic for no one.
No, it's not. It's a
There's 8 people up here who
flag.
saw you do it. It was like, it's like I get what you were going for, and in the first couple of seconds, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I see you." And then I was like, "Wait, you don't even actually understand the repercussions of what that is." Like, you haven't experienced a Buster Call yet. Like, you haven't met an admiral yet. Like, you don't have like an actual understanding of the world government yet. So,
But he also pulled up with Whitebeard, and he took on the government at their home base.
later.
Yeah, later, but still, he did it. And then the great Whitebeard died standing up. So, and that whole, matter of fact, that whole fight
Marine
scene
Ford. Yeah, all of Marine Ford.
all
Pretty
that
iconic.
those are memorable. That's the stuff I like about One Piece.
The Cell tournament. The entire Cell tournament. Pretty memorable.
Man, y'all are heavy on Dragon Ball Z, boy. I'm talking about for real. With
That's
the
just
fight
me.
scene.
Then I was like,
I mean, you want to talk about Gon versus what's that girl's name? The cheetah girl. When he just Pito. Yeah, Gon versus Pito. That's what you want to talk about, an iconic moment.
I think his Show Me Rock in the
Oh, and everything starts shaking.
no, when he does the Show Me Rock in the the dodgeball tournament is bigger for me than him doing he did Pito dirty, and he did them dirty real quick. The lead up to him killing Pito was more intense for me than him actually killing Pito.
When he
It
was standing in the
surprising.
courtyard. When he was standing in the courtyard and literally like the trees are all waving around and everything like that,
Yeah.
and like Killua has to come up to him and he's just like, "Bruh, calm down."
Well, no, that's when he was about to punch old dude who was like, "I don't think you're strong enough to come."
Right.
I meant like when he's like right after he's learned the Show Me Rock during the not was it
You're
Greed
talking
Island
dodgeball tournament, right?
when they're in the game.
Yeah.
When they're in the game and they're doing the dodgeball thing, and that guy standing over there, and he's having Killua hold the ball
Yeah.
while he uses his technique.
Yeah.
And they're literally telling him like, "Hey, bud, you gotta stop. You're damaging Killua to no end." And he's like, he looks at them and he's like, "No, Killua has to hold the ball because he's the only one I trust to fucking do it."
Right.
So he's gonna hold the ball. I'm gonna punch the shit out of this, and we're gonna win this game. Was such a like the height of like his selfishness, but also like his trust in Killua was like shown in that moment to where it's like this is gonna be a recurring thing. Gon's gonna trust Killua above all the rest of you fucks, and it's basically them against everybody else. If y'all are friends, cool. If y'all not, he trusted him to fuck y'all.
All right.
Right.
What about this? Y'all, I'm surprised y'all didn't mention anything about Baku or anything like that, about memorable fight scenes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Your homeboy next to you, he just pulled up and sat next to you.
Yeah, he's over here hanging out.
Yeah. Look at him. Just loyal. Anywho, all right, the last question. How do you think in anime has impacted the way you view and understand cultural differences and diversity?
And diversity?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't quite hear that whole word. So
I
I'm
thought he said
sorry.
adversity.
I probably
me
said.
too.
I'm sorry. I probably did say adversity. I meant diversity. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, show me Japanese culture and how that's starkly different than American culture. And like, I've seen a little bit of like Korean culture and some of Chinese culture from anime, but like they don't dive too much into the culture all that much, really, especially not modern culture. It's more like ancient culture or like, older culture and stuff like that. So it's like I've got an understanding of like, I guess, samurai or like the kung fu mindset and how like kung fu started and everything like that from anime and whatnot, and like the respect they have for their elders and the respect they have for the food that they get and stuff like that. Just the amount of respect that they have for what they have is vastly different than Americans. I mean, also, just like I guess their food and mannerisms and stuff like that. Obviously, I wouldn't have been able to see that without like certain parts of anime. Obviously, I've been able to see it through like the Travel Channel and stuff, but it's like just expressing culture in general. Like anime doesn't really go too much into that all that much. I guess there probably are certain animes that go farther into it, but not really. I'm mostly an action anime guy. I don't really watch that stuff all that much.
So you telling me you never looked at the daily life of Immortal King?
There's not a lot of history in that. Like
Yes,
it talks
it
about
is.
the Monkey King and stuff like that, and that's Chinese history. That's not really Korean history.
It says anime.
Yeah. Did you have what?
So I mean,
Yeah, but
that's a Chinese anime. So I mean,
It's not a Chinese anime.
isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm actually pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
is it? I
yeah.
thought okay.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
sure
it's.
it
I'm
is.
pretty sure it is. Oh,
So I'm
But I mean,
just
I think
saying-
it's more-
I'm just being devil's advocate. But yeah,
I
Jordan.
think it gives like nuances to like the difference in like living there and like growing up there. But it's because it's the school system's going to be starkly different than the school system over here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of K dramas have recently got very popular, and one of the big things about K dramas that like was on TikTok was people talking about the bullies that are in K dramas could not exist in America. Like you cannot bully in the same way that they show bullies over there, because it's like, no, they bullied you by cutting your hair off, and it's like that's not a thing here. Like they shaved you, they grabbed you. There were 5 people just grabbed you and shaved your head, and no one said anything about it, and you just went home and then went back to school the next day. The literal fights in the middle of the school there just did that on a daily basis. That like no, you get separated at that point. You can't come back to your same normal homeroom and just get beat up on a daily basis like that. It's like that's just not how the school system works over here. So a lot of anime puts their school system in a very, very bad light, but they also will say it's certain schools that are just shitty schools, apparently. Like the shittiest of schools over here, they're like, hey, you get in trouble, you get moved into alternative. And those are where we send people who are basically minors and criminals. But over there, they're like, nah, they're just an E class. Like, what? Like, that doesn't solve the issue. But as far as, like, learning cultural things, I don't think a lot of... They'll bring it up some in, like, festival episodes or, like, school trip episodes, but like no, I don't think they go super in depth in like their history, which makes sense. Our cartoons don't do it either. Like
Yeah, but it's America, so yeah.
well, yeah, the same. But anime is not made for us.
Right.
It's made for them. We just like it.
Right.
So
I don't say
I don't expect Teen Titans to come through and tell me all about the history
Well,
that comes behind it.
But we know that in New York, there's a giant ass T on the island, on the tiny ass island, where Teen Titans stay. That's what we do now.
Who said it was in New York?
It's in New York.
Definitely San Francisco.
Is it San Francisco?
Definitely San Francisco.
It's some fictional San Francisco.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, it's in San Francisco. Well, we already know, and we know,
Probably Bloodhaven.
and we know that Batman stay in,
Or we have Bloodhaven.
and we know that Batman stay in New York, and Superman stay in Chicago. We already know that. So yeah, we get it.
I don't remember anyone saying Metropolis was in Chicago.
That's what it's based off of in
That's what it's based
Chicago.
off. Yeah, Chicago.
Take your word for it.
Anyway, all right. Until next time. Peace.